Hi guys, and welcome to another video. This one is 5 dislikes on Aberdeen in Scotland. And make sure you stay to the end to find out the worst one. And we're starting off with number 1. Is the most obvious is the weather. And the weather is completely cold. It's just cold all year round. I'd say you probably get 3 weeks a month out of the year that is hot. Not hot, but moderate. And don't get me wrong, it's beautiful, but you're gonna need a lot of winter clothes, a lot of heating in your house, especially for winter. And be prepared for icy roads majority of the time in the winter as well. So number 1 is the weather. Number 2 is the city. The city itself is not appealing. It's very grey, very miserable because of the weather, because it's always dark and cloudy majority of the time. Yeah, it doesn't look appealing to people. It's not very, it's not drawing people in. And I won't like taking loads of pictures of it because it's not really nice to see. It's got a lot of modern shops. It's got a lot of place. It's got everything you need there, but it's just the buildings are not very appealing. So that is number 2 for me. Number 3 is the distance. It's quite far from everything. It's very up north by the sea, and it's like nearly 2 hours and 40 minutes from like Edinburgh and Glasgow to England. To Manchester, where I live, is 6 hours and 20 minutes. So it is very far from everything, which is not very convenient, but I personally like being far away from the big cities. But when you need to go to the big cities for something, it's very awkward and very far. So for that reason, it's a dislike, and that is number 3 on my list. Number 4, it's very hilly. Everywhere you go is just big steep hills, especially to the city centre as well. It's Market Street. You got to walk all the way up. I don't mind it too much, but sometimes it's like, oh, you know, I got to walk there again. Especially if you're walking and you haven't got a car, and you know, and you're on a bike. Because I used to do deliveries on my bike, and yeah, it's very challenging sometimes because most places you just got to go all the way up the hill. You know, things are quite far apart as well sometimes. So for that's why it's on my dislikes. Number 4 is the hills. If you're liking the video so far, guys, please hit the thumbs up and leave a comment below on your thoughts on dislikes of Aberdeen or likes. And stay tuned for my next video next week, which is 5 likes on Aberdeen. And hit the subscribe button if you haven't already to find videos more like this. So let's get into number 5. And number 5 is the people. Surprisingly, I'm not saying I don't like Scottish people, but I think some of them are quite rude sometimes and pretty racist. I met a few nice people, but they're very cold as well. Like, I mean, majority of British people are, I know from my culture, they're pretty cold and they stick to their own. I won't say the most nicest people. They've not been discriminating or anything. It's just like you can tell by their body language, their personal expressions. They're not. It doesn't seem like they're willing to help you or talk to you, in other words. So it's not. For that reason, that's why I put it as number 5 on my list. Is they don't seem very friendly. I'm not saying all of Scotland. I'm just from my personal experience in Aberdeen. So thank you for watching the video, guys. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for the next video next week. which is my 5 likes in Aberdeen, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.